What is going on, everybody? Hitmonchanning here, back again with another Pokemon trading card game, online deck tech. Today we're taking a look at Great Tusk Mill. You know me, you know I love my mill decks. Wishcash Mill is probably my most favorite deck that I've ever made and ever played. So I wanted to give a crack at Great Tusk Mill. Now, this is really hyped up. It's been a really hyped deck when Temporal Forces was, right before it released. Then when it came out, people kind of figured out how to abuse its weaknesses, sniping around it with things like Screamtail against Gardevoir, for example, using Judge and disrupting the hand because the deck lacks draw power, and stuff like that. People have been figuring out how to kind of deal with Great Tusk Mill, but I think this new version circumvents a lot of the problems that the regular lists have had. It's a lot more consistent, a lot more streamlined, and you can win a ton of games with this. Really well positioned right now, so we're just going to hop right into it. Obviously, we got 4 of the Great Tusk Mill cards, or Great Tusks, with the Land Collapse attack, which will discard the top card of your opponent's deck, but if you played an ancient card during your turn, or an ancient supporter I should say, you can discard 3 more cards, so that's 4 cards from the top of your opponent's deck if you played an ancient supporter card that turn. So we obviously have 4 of these Great Tusks. Now, I find that the 2 main issues with Great Tusk Mill that have been in the past are getting Great Tusks into play. It's usually really tough to get a couple of Great Tusks into play at once. So my solution to this was a little bit popular in Japan a while back and then kind of fell off, is the Comfey. We have a single Comfey in here with flower selecting, and couple this with the brand new Rescue Board to give it free retreat. We can lead the Comfey every single turn and look at the next 2 cards of our deck. We have concealed cards, which can then get us 2 more cards when we discard an energy, and we have a lot of draw power in this deck now, and I think it's really, really strong. And in terms of, my other little innovation to the deck is in Pokemon search. Like I said, it's hard to find Pokemon with this deck, so we're playing the 4 Nest Ball, the 3 Artazon, and the 1 Heavy Ball, which is pretty standard. But we're also playing 2 Egg Incubator, and you're probably like, I've never seen this card in my life before, why is this in the deck? Well, it reads if you flip a coin and you get heads, you search for a basic Pokemon and put it onto your bench. However, if you get tails, the Egg Incubator just goes to the bottom of your deck. So you don't actually lose a card. Now, it's never guaranteed, but you don't have to discard cards from your hand like Ultra Ball. This is the kind of deck that if you could play 6 or 8 Nest Balls, you probably would. But because you can't, the Egg Incubator is the next best thing. So that is my list. I'm very happy with it. I'm very excited for you guys to see it. So we're just gonna hop into the games and get some dubs with Great Tusk Mill. Just wanted to give a quick thank you to the lovely sponsors of the Hitmonchanning channel. If you need codes, you know where to go. Head over to ptcglstore.com and use code Hitmon to get 5% off your order. And be sure to check out Pokemon.gg, the best Pokemon card tracker and deck builder there is. You can track your entire collection and see its value, build decks quickly and easily, create custom wish lists, and so much more. Join Pokemon.gg by clicking the link below and use code Hitmon to get $5 off a pro membership. These are some great products for some great prices. Thank you to my sponsors for supporting the channel, and thanks to you for supporting me too. And now let's get right back into the video. We get to call this coin flip. It's going to be a tails never fails kind of motive. We're going to flip that coin and it's going to be heads. The coin flips have not been on our side today. I think we've lost all of them or maybe all but one. Ouch. But our opponent's going to choose if they want to go first or second here. We want to be going second ideally. We're the type of deck that wants to go second, but we're going to get to go first. We have the pleasure of doing so. Hopefully, we'll at least be able to get a couple Tusks down, draw some cards. Comfey lead is really, really good. We can potentially find an out to Radiant Greninja and go from there. Our opponent's gonna, or we're gonna start. Our opponent plays Manaphy down. Interesting. We had a counter catcher. Now, I think the first order of business is probably flower selecting just to see what we have. I don't even know we have access to. Yeah, the energy is a lot more valuable at this stage in the game. We can Earthen Vessel just so we can search to see what we got. Obviously 2 energies. We prized a Tusk, so Heavy Ball is important, which is also prized. But we do have 4 and 4 of our supporters, so that's good. We also have a Hand Trimmer. We have the 4 Seal Stone. We have 4 Double Turbo, so we got most of what we need in here. We're down a couple of Pokemon search, but that's okay. This is a fine hand if I've ever seen one. We'll start off with the Egg Incubator. And that's going to be heads. So I do want to grab Radiant Greninja here. I want to just draw more cards. We'll get our Tusks later on. We're not attacking this turn anyway. Just draw, draw, draw. The Double Turbo is good. So I'll put the Tusk down and I'll attach the Turbo and I'll just pass to my opponent here. Enter. There we go. So I'm curious to see what we're playing against, I should say. If we're playing against something like Lost Zone, there's an Earthen Vessel, so it looks like Gardevoir. Okay. Gardevoir's a tough matchup, but they started Manaphy, which is good. Now I'm hoping they don't just like immediately have like Buddy Poffin TM Evo shenanigans. I wouldn't like that. That would not be cool. But because they start the Manaphy, that's a good target for us to continuously counter catcher over and over, especially if we get rid of that Turo. Now, there's an energy on the Manaphy, and that's a pass. Okay, that's good for us. Nothing to really complain about there. Bravery Charm can be helpful later down the line. We'll start with a Pokégear here. Explorer's Guidance is kind of what we want. I'll go for another Pokégear, and that's going to get us Sada Pokégear. I'll get the Sada. We just want to do a little bit of thinning. We'll start with Explorers. And this is rough, but I think Pidgeot and Forest Seal are probably the best bets we have. Later on, if we need to find stuff, we'll start with this Flower Selecting, see what we can get. A Nest Ball and a Rescue Board is tough. We do play 2 Rescue Boards, though. I think I'd rather get the Nest Ball, guarantee the Tusk for next turn. Plus, we can check, make sure we have the other Rescue Board. We don't. Yeah, we don't. Okay, so that was another thing that was prized. That's okay, though. I don't actually mind that too much. We'll retreat this Comfey. In case we pick up that, we pick up that Rescue Board, I'll leave no tool on this Comfey for now, and we'll just land Collapse. We'll get rid of a bunch of cards. Ralts, Kirlia, TM Evo, and the like is really solid. They haven't played a supporter yet, so they could play an Iono at this point. But they do have a Kirlia just to draw some more cards, so no Gardevoir EX this turn is really solid for us, buys us another turn of no attacks. They're going to discard a Psychic Energy, draw some more cards. Again, the cards they're going to want to find are Ionos and Turos and Pal Pads and Rods. That's what they want. Here comes an Ultra Ball, pitching the Turo, which is really interesting. And they're going to grab themselves another Ralts, and it's probably going to be a pass. I doubt their last card in hand is TM Evo. They would have used it last turn if it was. So there's a pass from our opponent. No counter catcher needed just yet. Shoes is pretty good because it will let us get Explorer's Guidance, which I think we do want to keep here. And we'll do some exploring. A lot of these cards aren't going to matter too much. I think I want to grab the Incubator and the Rod, though. We have our Sada for the following turns. Yeah, we want to get the 3rd Tusk out this turn if we can. Rod, again, really important card to keep. We haven't used any Pal Pads yet. Hopefully Egg Incubator gets a heads, which it does. Egg Incubators have been really clutch for us here. We'll get this Tusk, and yeah, we have double Pal Pad in the deck, so we should be able to reuse our supporters, as needed, and we'll just collapse some more land. We'll get rid of more cards. Got rid of a Gardevoir, a Boss, another Kirlia. That's a really solid discard here from us. Our opponent hasn't been drawing too many cards, and they're gonna just have to draw what they can to kind of stay in the game here, but then once they take KOs, we're going to be pushing their resources further and further and further. They're 5 energy down. There's a Buddy Poff, and that's pretty chill with me. Get your Ralts out. Draw more cards. I don't mind. Here comes a Drifloon, though, and we'll see what exactly they have in their hand. They do have a Gardevoir EX in hand, so they're going to be able to take a knockout with this Drifloon, or with the Gardevoir, but I don't think what they see coming is this counter catcher up on the Manaphy. We're going to counter catcher that Manaphy up every single turn. Really bad starter for them, because now they have to find an energy or a Turo to retreat it. They've really been pushed to the brink. We're getting rid of so many of their resources, and it's going to be a really solid go ahead. Oh, they have the energy attachment on the Manaphy, which is really, really clutch for them. Okay, that's clutch for them for sure. We'll lead the Tusk here, and we're definitely going to counter catch the Manaphy up still. We're still going to do that. We have Sada as well. Sada will allow us to just ancient card, draw some cards, all that good stuff. We get a double turbo, we get Hand Trimmer, we get Pal Pad. Nothing too crazy, but yeah, we're definitely... See, this is what I'm not a huge fan of, but we're definitely going to counter catcher. I could put Pidgeot down, but we'll definitely counter catcher the Manaphy, prepare it again. We can put the turbo down. Yeah, how many Tusks are we down? We're only down 1 Tusk. Next turn, we'll go for the Super Rod play. They can Iono us, but it won't really worry me too much. We'll just land Collapse here, get rid of more stuff. Get rid of Devo. We got rid of their other Kirlia. I think that's all their Kirlias are accounted for, so they're not drawing any cards. So that's 3 energies, 6, 7 energies. Arvin here is going to allow them to get probably an Earthen Vessel. They're going to be their first pick, but no, it's a Super Rod and a Bravery Charm. Really interesting stuff. The Super Rod gonna get, I'm assuming, some more energies back. I think that's probably what they would want, or they can get Kirlias, Regardless, we're going to still be tusking and tusking away. They got a good mix of the three. That's fine. This Manaphy is our target. They got rid of the Turo. Haven't seen a Pal Pad yet. They probably don't have an energy. Yeah, it's just a Miracle Force. So we can still pressure them even more to retreat this Manaphy constantly, every turn. Retreat, retreat, retreat. We have a Tusk as well. We're prepped, set up, ready to go. So I'm not super mad about that at all. We get an Artazon too, which I'm not sure if I want to play just yet. But we can start off with this Counter Catcher I know we're going to play on the Manaphy. And here, I'm debating going to the Pidgeot. I think I like this play. Okay, I think I like this play. Put the Pidgeot down. Then we'll Super Rod, and Super Rod will get us 2 Tusks and a Fighting Energy. I'm down to get the Fighting Energy back. Now, I'll use Pidgeot, and I'll start Alchemy. I want to find a Tusk. Again, maximize our draws here with the Sada. Maximize the efficiency of the Sada, I should say. So we'll use that. We'll get the Tusk into play. Now, before we shuffle Pidgeot away, we'll use Sada. You know, get some guys going over here. Draw some more cards. We get another Fighting Energy, which is good. We can put that on this benched Tusk. We get Explorers, which is good for later. Now we can get rid of Pidgeot. Again, we don't want to be leaving this in play for our opponent to deal with. Pal Pad, we could use now. We're down yeah, we should. I don't even know if I want to use this just yet, though. It's really tough because it's like if we get Iono'd here, we're kind of screwed. So we should probably be using the Pal Pad. I'll just get Sada's back. And I'll put this other Tusk in play to maximize it. And then, yeah, Bravery Charm's not going to be doing too much for us. Just leave that in hand for now. We'll collapse some land, get rid of more stuff. Got rid of double Arven and Artazon. You know, that's not necessarily our preferred thing to get rid of. We want to be getting rid of energies. Hopefully they don't draw into any, though. They have their last Arven in hand, so they can find an Earthen Vessel, and that's going to get them their energies that they need. Why couldn't we get rid of their Earthen Vessel or their energies or whatever? They get the 1 energy. They're going to get to retreat it. We're getting there, though. We're getting close to the mill. If we can keep this up, we might be able to squeeze through with this game. They have a low hand, so their ability to be using their, what's it called? Effectively use Iono is going to be, like, going further and further away. We might be fine here. This is a tight game. This is a really close one. We'll lead with our good pal Great Tusk. We have another Super Rod to use later on. Artazon. And we'll see what happens here. We'll start off with the Guidance. Guidance, we'll grab a double turbo for sure. And probably the Sadas are just our best call. We want to keep these supporters as much as we can. We are good for next turn. Attach you here, and boom, we'll collapse more land. See what we can hit off of this. Again, nothing really helpful for us. We want to be getting different Pokemon out of here. We don't want to be getting all of these, you know, we want to be getting like Ionos, but they're just going to Miracle Force, keep on going. If they draw one more card, we'll Hand Trimmer it down, and not that it would really matter. We can find our last Counter Catcher here. That would be really, really solid, I think. We get an Earthen Vessel, which is decent as well, because that's 4 energies here. So I'll start off with the Super Rod, and Super Rod will get us a Great Tusk, and an energy. And what we will do is we'll put the Artazon into play. Artazon will allow us to get a Tusk down. Yeah, we have some energies. This is it though, folks. We got to use these Tusks to our advantage here. We can Vessel. And Vessel, get rid of Bravery Charm. That's not doing too much. Do we have the other Counter Catcher? We don't. So we literally gotta... Oh, it's gonna be so tight. If they have Iono, we lose though. But it's gonna be a really tight game here. I think the Concealed cards is probably the best play here. Pal Pad. We'll start with the Sada. Just attach. I don't even want to use this other one. I'll just leave the energy there. Yeah, it's not really gonna matter too much. And then we get our other Tusk. So we can put down this double turbo and collapse some land. 4 cards, Super Rod, Iono, Counter Catcher. That's good to get out of here. But if they just have Ionos in hand, we're gonna be in a big trouble, in some big trouble here. We might be 1 card short. We literally might be 1 card short of the victory, which will be very, very annoying. Very, very annoying. There's the Airy, which at this point doesn't do anything. So no Iono from them, and we're literally, I think, a card short of victory here. Off of this Gardevoir. That is insane. We were almost there. That is insane. Here's the Miracle Force. They literally had their one Arven left to get their one Earthen Vessel at, you know, the very, very, like, key part of the game. We can lead our Tusk. Man, we were very close to getting them there. Here's, you know, a Sada. We can Sada, attach, draw one card, Pidgeot so we don't deck out, but still, even so, we are going to lose this game here. Very unfortunate. We'll put Pidgeot down and still put him back in the deck, and then we'll let Vanishing Wings do its thing, whatever. And we'll land Collapse, and we were like a single card short of a victory. I think they have like all their Ionos in their hand. We covered a 1. So, I'm not one to blame luck. I'm really not. I'll let them do their thing. I'm not one to blame luck here, but I'm just saying, we got rid of all Pokemon. You know, they played 3 Airy, which is crazy. Why do you play 3 Airy as Gardevoir? That's nuts. They got rid of all their Pokemon. They found the exact cards they needed when they needed it. So this was a close game, but I think it was literally 1 card off. It was a great showing of what Great Tusk has to offer. Some great stuff in here, and really just such a fun deck to play. Like, you really can't complain. There's the Iono that they were going with. Would make us lose the game too, which is funny. You got to be really careful of that. But yeah, there's Balloon Blast for 600 damage. Goodbye to Great Tusk. Yeah, really tough game there. They played really well, but I think they got pretty lucky, and we took the loss. But really good game. I can't even fault a good game, you know? Our opponent is calling the coin flip. They chose Tails, so Heads always shreds in this economy, I guess. And it's going to be Tails, so Tails never does fail, apparently, except, you know, when I choose it. But I digress. We're not going to let that throw us off. Our opponent's going to choose to go first anyway, which is what we want to see. We want to be going second with this deck, and we're hopefully going to get a good hand off of this. This is a good hand. I can't really complain about this. We'll lead with our good pal Great Tusk. And yeah, we're going to have enough cards to pull off the turn 1 attack. We just need to get a little bit more going, and then we'll be happy campers, I should say. Our opponent's leading with a Bidoof. To me, this signals Charizard and Chien-Pao immediately, or Jank. It's one of the 3. There's a Mist Energy, so it's Arctina. That's my guess, and it's a pass. So if they don't get anything else, we can KO them here, and we can also make their life a little bit more difficult. We're getting a Fighting Energy in the discard, 2 more out of the deck. We'll start with the Sada, so we at least get 4 cards discarded. And this is much better. I don't want to give them the Artazon. I'd rather get a Great Tusk down. We prized our Comfey, that's okay. I'll attach this here. And I can save the Ancient Booster Capsule even. Actually, no reason not to put it on at this point. We'll just land Collapse. Hopefully we'll get a little bit of a glimpse. It is an Arctina deck, it looks like. We got rid of a lot of key supporters. And now, if they don't get the Pokemon down, we are just going to attach a double turbo and win. But it's Goodra. Okay, so it's Goodra. Should be a pretty straightforward match. I mean, we're kind of getting rid of their resources, those very key resources. They're going to Prime Catcher, which I kind of do mind, to be honest with you. They're going to Airy and get rid of the Counter Catcher. That's not nice. Yeah, I kind of mind that, because I would have liked to get myself a, use Sada this turn, but I can't. It's literally just going to be a Land Collapse for 1. Land Collapse for 1 is better than none. Getting rid of a Bidoof is also good. You know, they haven't played too many cards yet. They can evolve to the Goodra, but again, their Goodra's not really going to be doing too much to us at this stage. They're going to be manually attaching. We have a couple turns of leeway. Another Metal Energy comes down. No even slip and trip, not this point at least. And we get a Guidance, which is exactly what we want, so we can get some Guidance. And we did prize our Comfey, but I think I do want to grab the Nest Ball, and probably the Rescue Board, I think, are good to grab and keep them for now. I want to establish Greninja. I want to start drawing more cards, getting more in the discard pile. You know, again, we can use Artazon later when we need to establish our other Tusk. But for now, it's important to just build up this massive hand size and continue to mill as much as possible. Pidgeot is good for later on as well. And yeah, we'll just Land Collapse them, get rid of the next 4 cards. Some energy, they play Noivern. Noivern's no more. Noivern wouldn't matter anyway. And now, I think this is kind of the reason, or one of the reasons anyway, that I like Great Tusk so much. You can Iona me all you want. I'm getting 6 cards. You're getting more cards too. Congrats. I don't mind that at all. You know, and the deck just doesn't really fall to disruption as much anymore. It used to a lot. Another great part about this deck is if they take a knockout and, you know, we have the adequate energies and such powered up, we can just knock out their Arceus V, like, with no effort at all, which is really, really awesome. We get an Explorers off the top, which is great. I'll start with a Egg Incubator, which is going to be a heads, so it will grab us our third and final Great Tusk in the deck. We do have our Heavy Ball, so we can grab either Comfey or the last Tusk, whatever one works better for us. And I'm debating getting rid of the Egg Incubator here, but I think first we'll go for the Explorer's Guidance. I'm definitely going to keep... Hand Trimmer is not going to be as important. I'll keep Pidgeot for sure. We have no double turbos, no... Yeah, we don't really need anything else. I'll just get the double turbo energy here. Start preparing, attaching, all that good stuff. Put this here. And I think I can safely get rid of this Egg Incubator. We have a lot of Nest Balls and such in the deck still. Get these energies out, and you can see now we are moving and grooving. We are going crazy. We got a bunch of stuff out. We can use the Heavy Ball a little bit later. I don't actually want to use it right now. We'll just go for a Land Collapse here. Discard the next 4 cards. It's an Arc 2 Ionos and a Bibarel. Probably like some of the best 4 cards we could have discarded here. Now they can get themselves an Arceus. They have the Goodra. Do they have the energy? We're 1 water energy down. There's an Ultra Ball, so they can get the Arc. They're not going to Iono us. They're probably going to get an Arc, and I would say go for a water energy plus a Judge. I think that sounds about right. Again, or they're just going to get Bibarel. Okay, draw more cards. Be my guest. I will not be mad. Now, the reason I didn't want to put this Pidgeot down is in case they had the energy and then they, what's it called? They use Starbirth for Boss Choice Belt, then our Pidgeot will get knocked out, and that would be a really bad sight for us. Here comes Goodra, though, with its Rolling Iron attack. They don't even need to attack with Arceus to power it up, but they have 17 cards left in deck. Literally, this is 3 attacks, roughly. Yeah, it's 3 attacks in order for us to win, barring any, you know, recycling of cards. They have 5 prize cards left to take on all single prizers. It's going to be a challenge for them for sure, I think. We'll lead this Tusk, let them get a little bit comfortable in hitting into these numbers, then we'll bring up the Hero's Cape later. And I think now is the point where we're going to want to go for the Heavy Ball, get that Great Tusk. The Hero's Cape is in the deck, which I should have checked earlier, but I did not for whatever reason. So that's okay with me. And I want to start with the Pokégear here. We do get Sada, we do get Guidance. I think I want to get Guidance with this. Sada can be saved for later until, you know, we get more Tusks back in the deck. So we'll go for the Guidance. We can get the Hero's Cape is really important. We can also grab the Counter Catcher for later. I don't necessarily want to use it quite yet. I think this is a fine combination of cards to grab. We have Pidgeot still. I can attach this energy. I'm not super mad about it. I kind of want to hold it almost. Yeah, I can attach this because we have kind of a good, you know, we have a good board setup still. And we will go for Counter Catcher, Bibarel at this point. Yeah, I think so. Just kind of, again, make them waste more resources. We'll bring good old Bibarel up here and just Land Collapse him. Get him out of the way. Got rid of Goodra, got rid of Water, got rid of Boss. Again, all good discards. 3 bosses, 4 Ionos gone. There's no Airy, there's no Turo. They got to find an energy, or they found their switch. Again, that's fine. You know, get going, do your thing. You know, go off, King, as they say. They're gonna attach to the Arc. An Ultra Ball is gonna come down, getting them a Arc V-Star, I feel, but they're gonna whiff it. They have only 1 Arc V-Star in the discard pile. Why are they thinning so much? I don't understand. What are you trying to draw with Bibarel here? Now we literally just need 2 attacks to win. Maybe I don't know what they're trying to find, to be completely honest. There's a Rolling Iron, and now here comes the Hero's Cape. It's going to be really good for us. We're going to survive a hit from this Rolling Iron. I don't think there's anything that they can do to actually KO us unless they go for a Lost Vacuum. Injury Booster is good too. We can throw this here. Throw this on the bench Tusk. Now, in terms of other guys here, we need to get a Sada, but again, feeling like we're in a little bit of trouble. We got to get Sada with this Pidgeot. But we need another Tusk to attach to, so I'll definitely grab the Sada here. We're going to have to find the Pal Pad to keep milling, but we're in a good enough spot where we might not even need to. We'll just go for the Professor Sada's Vitality. I'll attach here, and I can even attach to this active one in case we need to swing for whatever reason. Start preparing. There's the Pal Pad, which is really good, so now we can Super Rod, put back double Tusk. That's all we need to do. Nest Ball, get the Tusk back. And we can actually attach to it as well. do this. Now Rescue Board will enable any of our Pokemon to retreat in play. We'll just go for the Pal Pad here. Pal Pad will net us. I think double Sada is fine, so we just never run out of energy. I think that's okay. Like, I'm not super worried about that. We have the energies to boot. And we can also go for the Vanishing Wings. So now Pidgeot is no longer on the board, no longer a threat, and boom, land collapse one more time. Literally going to be one more attack to win. We got rid of like all their energies at this point. 7 energy in the discard pile. So we could have stuck the Bibarel at whatever point we wanted to. They can judge us, which will only prolong their future demise. They need to find Lost Vacuum immediately to even stand a chance, I think, at this point. Because, you know, 7 cards in their hand, 4 cards in their deck. Now it's going to be 10 in total, but Rolling Iron won't even take a KO here. So if we're able to find a Sada, it will just be GG's. We do find the Sada off the top, which is incredible. We can attach and attach, do whatever we need to, and then we'll go ahead and collapse the land in front of us, taking the last 4 cards out of their deck. And then they'll go to draw a card, but look what happens. There's nothing there. And we just take the dub with Great Tusk Mill. Again, they had a bit of a rocky start. Our start wasn't as great either, but they were able to kind of pull back from their bad start, and we kind of just kept going further and further. You know, they were Rolling Iron, but we were land collapsing. Bars. Our opponent is calling the coin flip here. Tails never fails, is what I always say. Our opponent chose heads, so we're going to flip that coin, and it's going to be heads. So they're going to get to choose if they want to go first or second. We would much rather go second, but going first has some advantages too. You can set up your board a little bit more. You get some extra turns of drawing cards, which can really help you out of tight spots. But going second is what you generally prefer with this deck. This is an incredible hand to start. We have the first turn attack in hand, and Explorer's Guidance is going to help us secure the subsequent turns of attacking. Now, it looks like we're playing against a Gholdengo deck, which is not really a matchup I've tested, to be honest with you. It's not really one I can comment on. In theory, it's really good because they're going to need, what is that, 3 to 5 cards, depending on which tool we attach to our Great Tusk, in order to actually KO it. And they need to use SERs, they need to draw a bunch of cards to use the SERs. So lots of good stuff for us over here. If we can discard their Gholdengos, then they can't really do too much. Palkia is not going to be doing much if they find it. So yeah, pretty good hand so far. Without the Radiant Greninja is also really good. We're going to start off with concealed cards. We'll get rid of this Fighting Energy. Draw a couple more cards. Pretty decent from us. We'll start with the Explorer's Guidance right here. And it's tough because we didn't really get to look through our deck. But I think we definitely want the Nest Ball and probably the other Explorers. We'll see what we're lacking right now. The rest of the cards are kind of fine to get rid of. We'll go for the Nest Ball. Yeah, we kind of wanted that Heavy Ball there, but we had no way to know, so can't really be too mad. We'll go for the Double Turbo on the Great Tusk. We have 2 attacks now, which is good, guaranteed. And if we're working with 2 Great Tusks the entire game, we're working with 2. That's just how it be. Now, we know they have 2 energy in their hand. They haven't attached any energy. I don't know if I want a Bravery Charm right now. I think I do. I want to force them to draw more cards at the beginning of the game. So we'll start with Land Collapse, discard some cards, get rid of some good stuff. Ladies, pretty good to get rid of. Also good to get rid of Gimme Ghouls, more Nest Balls. Good to kind of thin their deck down a little bit more. There's the first Gholdengo of what I'm sure will be many. So we're going to really have to work hard to consistently keep up the draws here and keep up the mill. We're both at 37 cards left in deck. We have Super Rod to recover our Pidgeot, so I'm not super, mad at that. Rhyme, what do you do? Switch out your opponent's active Pokemon to the bench. Okay, I'm fine with that. I'm actually okay with putting this Great Tusk up. We have the Double Turbo in hand. They just drew 3 cards. They're going to Nest Ball, get some more cards, probably Radiant Greninja or something like that. If this is Gholdengo and Scizor, Scissor's not going to be doing too much to us because we have very little abilities on the bench. There's a Radiant Greninja, which I thought of, which is excellent. Draw some more cards. I dare you. I dare you, draw some more cards. See, they started the turn with 37 cards in hand. Now they're down to 31. We don't really need, we need a lot of attacks. We can't really miss a beat here. And with 2 Tusks, it's going to be a little bit difficult. But I think that we'll be able to effectively mill out our opponent. Usually Gholdengo lists are going to be playing Roxanne. You're not going to be able to Roxanne here because we're not taking any prizes. So I'm pretty confident in them. They're going to keep thinning their deck for us. Do whatever you must, drawing more and more and more cards. If we can mill out the superior energy retrievals, we can kind of just stop them in their tracks from actually doing anything. So we'll see what exactly we can do here. I suspect they're going to take a KO on this Great Tusk right now. They wouldn't really hit it for no reason. There's an energy retrieval, so they literally just need 1 more energy in hand, which I know that they have at this point. I'm assuming they have anyway. Here's Make It Rain. I'm going to see the 3 energies come down for sure. And then it's going to be a knockout on this Great Tusk. Now, that's pretty good. We're expending their resources. That's what you want. My only concern is, do I want to play the Super Rod now, or do I want to wait until a little bit later? It's going to be a little bit tough. It's going to be a bit tough to decide. Counter Catcher is a really solid option right now, and I think I want to go and bring up the other Gholdengo. First, though, First, I think I'm going to start with the Explorers. I don't necessarily want to rod the Tusk back right now. We get the Nest Ball, which is good. Artazon is good too. I don't want to give them that Artazon, though. I'll just get both of these. Explorer and Nest Ball, that's fine with me. Get rid of the rest, would have been good to keep, but that's okay. Now, do I want to even Super Rod at this point? I think I do want to Super Rod here. And I'll just put both of these back. Don't necessarily need the Pidgeot either. I just want to be prepared. I want to get the Tusk down. I want to put the double turbo down. And then I want to go from there. I'll also Counter Catcher up this other Gholdengo. Like I said, force them to draw more cards. If you want to get out of this spot, draw more cards. No sense putting the Greninja up because that also just lets them get out of this for 1 energy less. Getting rid of the Prime Catcher and the boss is a really, really huge deal because now they're going to be forced to go through our active Great Tusks. It's going to be really difficult for them to continuously keep up the pressure. Here they have an energy trapped in this Gholdengo. Here's into Superior Energy Retrieval, and they're going to be discarding some other cards. Counter Catcher, Rigid Band. They play 3 Rigid Band, which is kind of crazy. But they're going to get those energies back. Do it all over again. We probably won't even see a coin bonus come here. Here's just the Make It Rain for 4 energy cards. Now, if Gholdengo ever does build up a huge hand, I'm going to be pretty content with kind of just letting them do their thing. And we just Hand Trimmer that right down later on. So we have our other Great Tusk leading over here. Earthen Vessel's okay. I don't really want to use that just yet. Starting with the Explorer. Explorer is going to nab me some other cards from the top of the deck. Rod and Nest Ball. This is a tricky one. Thinking it's got to be Sada and Nest Ball right now. The Counter Catcher is appealing to use because they're 2 energy, 5, 6, 7. That's most of their energies down. If we force them to need another energy, that could be pretty good. Oh, this is a really tough call in terms of what we want to grab here. But I do think we need to get the Sada at this point. Yeah, I think it's got to be the Sada here. Then we will, like, we didn't Super Rod. We have the 1 Tusk. Really, it's going to be a tough go for us here. I'm thinking we're going to have to take a turn off at some point, though. We'll start with the Counter Catcher. Hopefully this turn, we can buy a turn with them not having a way to move the Greninja. Again, getting rid of some crucial resources, getting rid of the Pal Pad and the other lady. Now, I don't doubt they'll be able to find a way out of this here, but are they going to be able to find a way out and to attack? That's going to be the issue. And you can already see, here's the other SER, they just have them all in hand. You can already see kind of this deck, as in Great Tusk's weakness. It's like, how do you get out of these situations? You have 1 Great Tusk down, nothing else is in play. You know, the Superior Energy Retrieval lets them knock out this Radiant Greninja, no problem. We should have 1 more Counter Catcher remaining. We have the Sada. We have another Rescue Board, which I do keep exactly for situations like this, because you don't want to run out of ways to pivot and attack in the same turn, right? Like, you don't want to do that. So we'll lead with Greninja. I'm not so worried, to be completely honest with you right now. Another Sada off the top is not exactly what we want, but we do want to start with the Earthen Vessel. The Vessel will get us 2 fighting energies out of the deck. Now, I know my plan here is to Super Rod. I'm going to Super Rod literally just these 2 Tusks. We'll conceal cards first. We have the Nest Ball either way if we need to get something. And this turn might be a turn we go for another Explorers if we can. I do want to start off with the Egg Incubator. You'll see kind of the power of this card here acting as another Nest Ball. We do get the heads on the Egg Incubator, so we can get 1 of our Tusks. And I want to make sure we have the Rescue Board in our hand so we can potentially draw into it. But right now, we're just going to Nest Ball, get our guys out. We'll lead, I think, with the Pokégear just to do some thinning. We did not hit anything, which is okay. We're going to start with the Sada, and we'll just go from there, see what we can do. Again, they're going to run out of steam eventually. It might not be now, but it might be, you know, at some point. Get the Hand Trimmer, which is good for later. Counter Catcher, which is good for now. We'll throw that Counter Catcher on the Greninja, and I'll wait to use this Pokégear, and we'll just pass. Now, if they start to build up a hand, we can force the Hand Trimmer on them after. We also still have access to our Hero's Cape, which is our ace spec of choice in the deck. We still have access to it, so we're going to be able to, at some point, buff up these Tusks a little more. 240 HP, they'll need 5 energies to get there, and then it'll be really tough for them to deal with it. Now that I'm talking, though, I don't remember actually seeing the Hero's Cape in the deck, so we'll see what they can do. And they're going to be running thin on energy cards. They're down 2 SERs. They have a Super Rod, so they can recover some more of these energies. And yeah, they're down 2 Lady. I doubt they play more than 1 Pal Pad. Here comes the water energies. And Rhyme, another... What is this? What is this? Why are we playing Rhyme? What is happening here? Drawing 3 cards. They only put 2 energy back to probably keep room for an SER. Here's a coin bonus drawing them some cards. They want to be careful not to draw too many. They will need 3 energies to discard off the Gholdengo in order to make some magic happen here. Another coin bonus is really good for us. Yes, build that hand up, my friend. A hand trimmer is coming your way. If you can't get this turn, you're going to have to lose some access to some resources, and it's going to be a little bit more of a tough go for them. Now, we do only play the 3 counter catchers, so all of our counter catchers are expended, but that's the point. We just want to make them spend resources. And here's the concealed cards, getting even more cards into their hand, discarding an energy, drawing 2 more cards. Now, we're kind of at our limit of Tusks. We have only 2 Tusks. Here's an SER, which I did not want to see. And this is going to be really tough for us to kind of finish off here. They're going to get rid of 2 cards, get a bunch of energies back, going to be 4 energy, and that will be enough to knock out this Great Tusk on the bench. Now, this is going to be a little bit of an issue. Make It Rain here. Make It Rain is going to kind of stop us, you know, from attacking with this Tusk. 6 cards, they're going to get 7 total, so a Hand Trimmer could still be effective here. I wouldn't necessarily hate it, but we got to lead this Tusk, and it's got to survive at least 1 turn in order for us to kind of make some magic happen here. Now, I do want to start with the shoes. Better to draw some cards than none at all. We don't need this Fighting Energy. We'll just draw 1 more card. Rescue Board is not what we need either. And now I think we'll start with the Pokégear, see what we can find. We find the Guidance, which is really, really good. And now I do want to go for the Hand Trimmer. I want to force their hand down. 2 cards is still 2 cards. It's still a lot of cards that they're going to not have access to, limit their resources even more. And off this Explorer's Guidance, I'm really trying to find myself a way to buff our HP up a little bit more. I just kind of got to get something here. We get the booster, which is good. Pidgeot is also pretty solid here. Just so we don't deck ourselves out, we can hold that Pidgeot, but it might still be a tough go for the rest of the game. We'll grab the Pidgeot. We're not going to do much else without it. Again, we're getting close to decking ourselves out here. So I'll do this, and we will just go for the Land Collapse. Hopefully, we can stop them from doing anything. We got rid of the last SER, I think. We did. Okay, so they're down a Rod, they're down 2 Lady, they're down a Pal Pad, and they're down the SER. 2 energy stranded on the Gholdengos. We literally might... of course they have another energy retrieval. I think they just have game then. Oh my gosh. How much energy recovery does this Gholdengo deck play? Oh man. That was a challenge. Maybe they don't KO? They need 4. They have 4! Oh, see, now we prize the 2 Tusk. Not much we can do about that. I probably should have gone for that heavy ball here, but maybe they don't have a way to knock out this Greninja. Maybe I just pass the turn here. Let's see. If they can't knock out the Greninja, we'll just win from Pidgeot V. You know? Okay, they're down 2 regular energy retrievals. 4 superior. Why do they have another one? What does this deck play? They have another one? Okay, so let me get this straight, right? You're playing 4 energy retrieval, 4 superior energy retrieval, 2 Lady, and a Pal Pad, and a Letter of Encouragement, and a Super Rod. What? You know what? Credit where credit's due. They were teching for Great Tusk Mill, man. They were teching for Great Tusk Mill. I don't know. They were teching for it. How is that possible? How is that possible? How many energy did they play? Oh, I wish I could see. How many energy did they play? We can check the game log right now and try and find out. Okay, so, you know, 5, 6, 7, right? 7, that's fine. 8 and 9 attached. How? They probably played 10 energy. No Palkia, no nonsense. They were just all Gholdengo all the time. So what do you think of my Great Tusk Mill deck? This deck, insanely fun to play. It is awesome. It's so much fun and pretty good right now, I think. Well, like, I do think it's pretty good. And I think that it's consistent enough at this point. I've been loving the list. The list feels really good. And you're really relying on luck. That's kind of what Mill is at this point, is like, it's not like my old Whiscash Mill deck where you were milling like 12 cards at the end of the game. This is a more active Mill, not a passive Mill. And passive Mill is more like you're letting your opponent do whatever they want, and then you're kind of just making them lose the game no matter what they do. Here, you're just trying to actively outpace them and cause them to lose the game. So yeah, Great Tusk, really fun deck. It struggles, we played against some Gardevoir today. It struggles with Gardevoir, and it struggles with like kind of non-meta stuff sometimes. You know, like we played, I'm probably gonna keep it in too. We played like a Gholdengo deck that had like 4 energy retrieval, 4 superior energy retrieval, 2 lady, and a Pal Pad. I'm never gonna forget that, because like what Gholdengo list plays that much energy recovery? And like, that was the only reason we lost. I was like, there's no way they have enough now, and they just had enough. So sometimes games can feel like that, where you feel like it's really out of your control, and that's because it is. You know, that's why I like to get my list to a place where you feel like you play the game every single game. Then if you just have bad luck, you have bad luck. And we got a good dub, we got some close games in here, so I can't complain too much. So the one card I think that is on everyone's mind a little bit, or is on my mind at least, is the Hand Trimmer. This is the one card I want to talk about a little bit. It has good scenarios, good uses, like against Lost Box, like against Gardevoir. However, sometimes you're a card off of milling, or your opponent has key resources in their hand or whatever. So Hand Trimmer can be airy, Misfortune Sisters, and another key card that I actually tested out, I opted for not including it, but in hindsight, maybe I should have, is Lure Module. Lure Module is really good because, I'll pull it up on the screen right now, but basically what Lure Module does is it makes each player reveal the top 3, put all Pokemon they find there into their hand, which can be very crucial in out-milling your opponent. And like if you're 1 or 2 cards off and you're like, oh, the math's not gonna make it, you can Lure Module if they've like super rotted a bunch of Pokemon back in to preserve their deck size. You can go Lure Module, get some Pokemon out, and then from there you'll be able to win the game just by milling like you normally would. But other than that, this list is a lot of fun. I encourage you to try it out for yourself. It's hilarious, it's really strong, and it's just such a great time playing the Pokemon TCG. So with all that said and done, thank you so much for watching. Like this video if you enjoyed it, and comment down below, what do you think of my Great Tusk EX list, or Great Tusk Mill list? What do you like? What do you dislike? Would you keep them? What would you change? And once again, thank you for supporting the channel. Subscribe. I post multiple Pokemon trading card game videos every single week. And with all that said and done, thank you so much for watching. Until next time, Hitmonchanning out.